Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. And the first thing I want to do is say thank you so much to all of you for getting us up to 24,000 subscribers, guys. If it wasn't for you guys, I would have never been able to make it this far on YouTube. So I really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Now let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Kusanagi, who is actually a character that I thought was mainly just going to be a support. Probably wasn't going to be near as strong as maybe some of the other characters. However, guys, he is actually a pretty damn strong character on top of probably going to be a very good support. I say probably because I haven't really tested him as a support just yet, but I have tested him as a damage dealer, and I can tell you that I think you're going to be pretty satisfied and pretty happy with this character. Really, all of these UE characters are pretty damn nutty, but Kusanagi really did surprise me. And the other thing that surprised me about this character is how fun he is to play. The dude is just intense as hell. And for those of you who've been watching my channel for a long time, know that I just love intense characters, right? Now, this is a yellow balance type fighter that increases yellow element fighter attack by 70%, which is amazing for all the yellow fighters. And I want you guys to look at his details here. He's got 21% critical rate and 522% critical damage. I mean, it's just nuts what these characters have as far as their stat details, and he's running 993,000 CP. Now, something to keep in mind is that this is my free-to-play account. My fame system is only at level 12, and my codex is not leveled up at all. This CP would be way higher on my main account. Now, when we go into the core effects, we'll get into those in a little bit. He has increased attack by 5%. He has 30% PG rate, critical damage by 350%, strike skill, blast skill by 200%. This is really good because he's got a combination of blast and strike skills within his skill sets. And then when competitive spirit effect is not active, resets active skill cooldowns after active skills are used 3 times. This is actually quite insane because you'll find that whenever you hit his skills, you'll actually reset all of them 3 separate times. Even when you have cooldown cards, guys, or I'm sorry, non-cooldown cards, you're just using cards that don't have cooldown, you'll be able to spam through your skills super fast, which actually helps your damage and just makes them super fun to play. Then he enters competitive spirit state after he resets all of his skills. When competitive spirit is active, resets active skill cooldowns after active skills are used 3 times. Then removes competitive spirit after 4 seconds. If competitive spirit is removed with the above effect, competitive spirit cannot be gained again after 15 seconds. If competitive spirit is active, using the finisher skill removes the competitive spirit effect and increases the active skill damage of all teammates, excluding self. So he doesn't get a buff himself, but he buffs up all of his teammates using that finisher skill as long as your competitive spirit is active by 80% for 20 seconds. Massive buff after using his default. The heat of the battlefield core effect is multiplied by 1.5 times. Heat of battlefield is this core here for yellow element fighters. So for yellow element fighters, guys, he is going to give some insane buffs, like for Psyche, which is pretty damn nutty. He's also immune to fear, stun, burn, and darkness, decreased damage received by 80% when HP is 60% or below, and he does have damage immunity core and increased active skill damage by 250%. And when you look at his skills, guys, whenever he uses his UE skill, increases active skill damage of all team members, including self, by 25% for 20 seconds. So every time you just use your UE skill, you're going to get that 25% buff. If the target is a yellow element fighter, active skill cooldown is decreased by 1 second, and this skill active skill damage received increased effect is multiplied by 1.5 times, which is really amazing for himself because he is a yellow fighter. However, when you use the Phantom UE skill, then you're going to find that the buffs get a little bit better because you're still going to get the 25% buff here. You're still going to get, if you're using the yellow fire, you're going to get that active skill damage received increased effect by multiplied by 1.5%. for 1.5 seconds, but you're also going to get these effects with 1 bar of phantom skill. You're going to get an active skill damage increase of 25%. If you have 2 bars, you get 51%, and 3 bars, you get 51%. And then you'll actually gain the competitive spirit whenever you have 3 phantom bars. And what that means is if you're using him as a support character, you would want to have, 3 phantom state bars before you use your finisher because it actually put him in the competitive spirit, giving that extra active skill damage to the yellow fighters. That would actually be really good on top of just giving it to himself. And then active skill 1 is a grab skill, and it has some nice PvP things where it removes targets damage reflect, disables damage reflect for 10 seconds. PvP exclusive, removes targets hyper armor, super armor, and critical shield. Really good for taking away their survivability, so you can do a lot more damage to them. That's actually pretty good for PvP. And then he has a strike skill and a second skill. He has hyper armor for 5 seconds. He deals physical damage with 5,000% of attack. He stuns the target for 3.5 seconds upon landing a skill, even on a guard that's included for 5 seconds. Or that has a 5-second cooldown, right? 3.5 second stun is a really long time, as long as they're not immune to stun. And then he has a blast skill on his third skill, and this will deal burn damage equal to 50% of attack to the target every 0.3 seconds for 3 seconds, decreases target defenses by 80%, increases their damage received by 100% for 15 seconds upon landing a skill. So also another really good support buff, but also a good damage buff for himself. His finisher skill increases momentum by 20% while in use. So you're going to increase your momentum while you're using the skill. This is going to probably be fairly effective, I would hope, against the Aegis challenge. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Now, when it comes to his imprint stones, I have his 3 stones, I have actually 4 stones, and then I just opted to put this last stone and increase the attack and burn damage on him. And when it comes to his core, guys, you want to level up his attack, you want to level up penetration, and you want to level up his second and third skill. Those skills do the most damage. Max out the second and third, and then use the first, then level up the first last. And obviously you want to level up the UE skill and your Phantom UE skill as you awaken your character further and further and further. And then his Striker bonus is actually pretty cool because it increases all teammates' active skill damage by 25%. And if increased active skill damage of all yellow, and if they're yellow fighters, he will give another 10%, right? And this is going to go all the way up to some pretty insane stuff where you actually increase all your teammates' active skill damage by 40%, and then increase your yellow fighters by another 17.5%, giving an extra 57.5% increase to your active skill damage, which is OP as hell. And then he also can give them a shield, which will really help their survivability. So, I mean, he's actually set up quite well as far as being a support, but seriously, his damage really is very, very good. Now, I'm going to be using the same old set, and we're going to use the Show Me Option card. We're going to use the Zhang Fei card because we're going to get Sniper Geese. That way we can break that meter a whole lot faster. And Kusanagi's 3PG is actually very good for him because it increases active skill damage of all allies, including himself. And this is really, really good. Really, when it comes to Kusanagi, you really just want all 3 of his skills, the second, the third, and the first, especially the second and third, to be buffed up. That's really where his damage actually comes from. And this 35% is really, really nice after you do your 3PG. So I'll bring up the run for you guys right now so you can check this out. And I actually recorded this on my live stream last night. And one mistake I did make is I didn't have 3 members on my team. If I would have used 3 UE characters, we would actually got some buffs. Now, when you start off the fight, you just want to go 2, 1, and then 3, and then those skills are just going to reset 3 times, which makes them super, super fun. Now, whenever you're playing with this character, essentially what you're trying to do is you want to build up those Phantom Stayed bars so that way you can increase your active skill damage, right? Now, I'm trying to build it up as much as I can, and because the meter was already broke, I went ahead and hit the Phantom skill or the Phantom UE skill. That way I could get some extra damage, right? Whenever the meter is broke, that's when you actually want to do it. Now, you can do this different ways. You can actually try to build up all 3 of your Phantom Stay bars. You'll actually do a lot more damage through that, but when it comes to damage over time, when you're doing solos, I find that I just do a little bit more damage whenever I get that bar increased. Now, right now, I'm not going to use the UE skill, right? I just keep pressing and pressing and pressing and pressing because I'm trying to build up the Phantom Stay bar, right? There we go. We didn't use the UE skill, and we're just going to keep going. We're going to do our 3PG. Now we have 3 bars of the Phantom State, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to hit our Awakened skill so that way we can make the UE skill turn into a Phantom UE skill, and we can start pouring on damage. Right now, what I want to do is I want to get Geese down to where he's pretty much stunned and we can do a bunch of damage, right? I just want to keep plowing on my damage here and get that meter broke and then hit the UE skill. Boom, absorb all 3 of those bars. The skills are resetting, guys, and look at him go. The damage is nuts. We did 376 billion in 1 minute. Now, I know some of you are thinking, wait a minute, well, that's not really that good. That's not really quality. Oh, yes, it is, because this is my free-to-play account. As I told you guys earlier, I have a fame system of level 12 on this account. level 12, my friends. My codex is not leveled up. I don't level up characters on this account. All I ever level up is the characters that I pull in the banners. I never level up my bronze characters or my gold border characters. None of them. If you level all those characters up, you're going to increase your codex, which means you're going to have more attack, more CP, more defense, more HP, and so on. You're going to do way more damage. My main account, I've actually done testing before, where my main account will do about double the damage. Double the damage compared to my free-to-play account, which means that Kusanagi would be doing about double the damage from what you're seeing on my main account. In fact, he would do a little bit more if I had 3 team members of UE. That way we increase our active skill damage by another 7%. That would actually make a little bit more of a difference. I mean, this is actually quite insane, the damage that he's doing. No, he's not the strongest character, but Jesus, this is pretty OP. He's pretty damn OP. So you see me, I'm just trying to build up those bars, trying to build up those Phantom State bars, right? There we go. And I went ahead and just used it, right? Because we're getting near the end. I want to plow as much damage as I could, right? And do our 3PG. Whenever you use your Awakening skill, you want to make sure that you have a certain amount of that time for your Phantom UE skill, because that way you'll get those buffs from the Phantom UE skill. So you got to be really, really careful of that, and you got to be really wary of that. But my friends, look at the damage, right? 776 billion. And like I said earlier, if this was on my main account, if I was using him on my main account with the same exact build, this dude would be doing about 1.5 trillion in the solo. In fact, a little bit more than 1.5 trillion with this exact same run. 1.5 trillion at A6. At A6, my friends, that is a lot. That is insanely strong for this character. So, I mean, when you level him up, you take him to level 70, level 80, level 90. I mean, he's just going to get even more bonkers. Yeah, he's not the strongest characters, guys. Ash and Psyche are definitely stronger than him. But my God, this dude is much more than just a support character. What a powerful character. I was honestly shocked by the amount of damage that he could do. So guys, let me know what you think about Kusanagi. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. G2+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See everybody. Take care.